Em presento, soc el Ramon Calonja, som els directors de la plataforma AHI, Architectural Heritage Intervention, que és una plataforma que conjuntament amb el col·legi es dedica a la difusió de les bones pràctiques en la intervenció en el patrimoni. Dos de les nostres principals activitats és el nostre arxiu i els premis, que per això esteu tots aquí reunits. Els premis, d'alguna manera, el que fan és nodrir el nostre arxiu. Arxiu que actualment, amb aquesta 7a edició, té 1.351 treballs que podeu consultar tranquil·lament i gratuïtament des de la nostra plataforma. A aquesta última edició, 238 treballs que s'han seleccionat 40 que estan premiats amb aquesta selecció i voldria dir que estem molt contents que d'aquests 40 treballs seleccionats tenim 36 equips presencialment avui aquí en aquesta sala i voldria demanar un aplaudiment per tots ells. Són seleccionats pel jurat, que també tenim aquí present, i també voldria agrair la seva presència. I avui sabrem els finalistes i els guanyadors. Parlant de finalistes i guanyadors, ara en aquests moments tindrem un finalista i un guanyador de l'última edició, de la 6a, que ens vindran a presentar dos treballs. El primer que vindrà és l'Stephen Bates, que és professor de la Technical University of Munich. Ha estat jurat de prestigiosos premis internacionals com el Menis i és jurat del nostre premi. Benvingut, Stephen. Gràcies.
Gracias. Hablaré in inglés. Gracias. So, I have 20 minutes. I'm going to speak slowly about a very big building, which is a challenge. So, this is a case study in adaptive reuse. And this is a book made by the partners of Atelier KANAL, designed by Jane Studio, to represent the construction of the building and the layers of making and being made. I'll use the spreads. I will use the spreads from the book in this short presentation. Is that okay with my speed? Perfect. I was asked to speak in Catalan. Thanks. So the Citroën car factory is the size of a city block in central Brussels. Henri Citroën in 1933 had a vision of a glass palace. His vision was such a vision that he omitted the buildings that existed on the site in order to express his vision. But it was both a showroom and a workshop for the fabrication of cars. But the building has had many lives during its existence, through occupation in the Second World War to the downturn in the economic climate. It is located along the canal, one of the canals in Brussels, one of the few canals that is still visible. And it has a strategic position on the Brussels-Charleroi Canal, connected to the Alexander Shemetov's wide-ranging vision of the neighborhood's urban development, which is known as the Canal Plan. of 2014. But it is also located in what is called the Croissant Pauvre, a district of poverty, low income, low employment, but characterized by certain interesting aspects. For example, the second-hand car market run by the West African community. Our first encounter with this existing building was in 2018. It was inspiring, it was ordinary, but it was heroic all at the same time. The client was the Brussels Capital Region, who bought the building to convert it into a museum of modern and contemporary art and the collection of architecture and urbanism of the Siva Foundation, as well as multiple venues for the performing arts. The area of the project is 40,000 square meters. It is, in the end, a sort of Tate Modern in Brussels, the capital of Europe. What do you do after the Tate Modern? You say, this is not a museum. The factory-like spaces of Centre Pompidou in Paris, the Culture Husset in Stockholm, Cedric Price's Fun Palace, Cesc Pompeii, each a promise of phenomenal transparency and flexibility, of ultimate utility. Everything can be accommodated or projected within it, where not only could everything be seen simultaneously, there is a provision of free movement from space to space. The idea of a utilitarian building becoming a palace, a public interior in which culture is housed and produced. But also the possibility of social contact, of connectivity, of interaction. Pontus Hulten was the director of both Culture Husset and the Pompidou, and he believed in people interaction, the freedom to see, the freedom to act, the freedom to intervene. When we won the competition, this coincided with 1.5 years of temporary exhibitions in the garage. It was known as KANAL Brut, spanning from May 18 to June 19. It was a cultural immersion in the buildings of the former garage, and it revealed enormous scenographic potential of the existing building, but also its limitations. And it was curated mainly from well-chosen art pieces from the modern art collection of the Pompidou and local performances. It brought art into an interesting dialogue with the garage as found, and the way in which the public behaved and responded to the space was informative to us. The performances experienced, in fact, led to the making of a vast performance space that we didn't originally propose in the competition. After the wonderful performance on the bottom right of Castellucci's La Vita Nuova. So we made some changes from the competition scheme. For example, this 1,500 square meter space for performance, that there is not one that exists in Europe. The statements that we used were radical optimism and to trust in what is there. This demonstrated the need to remain optimistic and idealistic, and also non-prescriptive, to be spontaneous, to be instinctive. And in so doing, we allow the building to become a key protagonist. We were celebrating the historic Citroën factory while repurposing it as a new space for exhibiting architecture and contemporary art. And we listed 5 ideas. And there's a gap here for the 6th idea. I'm going to describe those ideas and tell you at the end what the 6th idea is. The showroom becomes a symbol. It is a 21-meter-high glass palace at the square of Saint-Quillet. It's designed as a symbol of a radically innovative company in 1933, but it re-emerges as a stage for the public of Brussels and the visitors too. It is a grand urban interior public room for the city to accommodate installations, performances, concerts, as well as a restaurant and adaptable spaces above it at one end. The vertical ground floor windows open up from the ground to allow an ease of movement from the street to the space. It is a way that the showroom lets the city in. We believed that the building was already the icon, because in a competition these days, it seems that cities always want an icon. And I think our project was the only project that did not have a tower or a kind of grand expression. Instead, we said that the icon is here, and part of its power is its horizontality. Horizontality that expresses an extensive urban and democratic landscape, one that is transparent, in which the new life, the current life of the building becomes enmeshed with those of its past lives. The garage already has a strong urban figure. We refer it to the Cardo Deconamos. It becomes a building of 4 entrances, and the emphasis is on the project as a piece of public space over institutionalized space. The street, off of which is the access to the Contemporary Art Museum. The nave that demonstrates a kind of exciting simultaneity, many things going on at the same time. You see this large shutter opening to the auditorium, which is a flexible space that has this kind of slippage, this sort of loose relationship with the existing structure. It is a space that is longer than the turbine hall at the Tate Modern. 3 new volumes are added, almost as in the way of Cordoba, into the existing fabric. As the existing structure does not meet the structural and acoustic performance criteria required for a contemporary museum, these 3 new volumes, like vast houses, interrelate with the existing structure. One accommodates the Siva Architecture Museum and the Archive, the other, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and the third, a collection of shared uses such as auditorium and office spaces. Within these houses, there are rooms of different character. This is the top floor gallery of the Contemporary Art Museum. Behind this temporary screen is a big window overlooking the city, an exposed structure that combines the services requirement within the structure as a single figure. These volumes are wrapped in a simple clay block, a block that is used on the back face of the block is exposed to show its fine texture. It is a curatable surface. And around these volumes, we develop what we call an onion concept of servicing. This means that in order to focus and concentrate the maximum climate control, we create layers so that we only use the energy that we really need in the museum spaces. And most of the building has a very low climate control. This is part of this onion concept. We call them glass houses that wrap around and create a threshold between the garage itself and the interior of the museum. This is the first floor gallery space a few weeks ago, and in the basement, a 5.5 meter basement gallery space with 2 large twisted columns for performance and audiovisual. The next idea was about production. I asked before, what do we do after the Tate? What we do is we can bring to attention the possibility of utility and production alongside the presentation of art, just as we found in the existing building. Knowledge production, a printing studio, workshops, studios, education spaces. The space is never finished. There's an invitation to add layers, to propose other customs, to evolve permanently, a test site, a public space with art institutions attached, a reading room to do homework. We want to make it relevant to the city, both for an international audience and for the local residents. It has the potential to connect to Molenbeek in the city centre, a very troubled area across the canal, but also to connect with a new public space being built at this stage with Agence Terre in Saint-Quelet. It is a way of contributing to the transformation of the area, and it is always the risk of gentrification over transformation and regeneration, like any cultural project within this type of city space. It's a new and more complete urban block with the Kai Theatre that exists already integrated into the ensemble. And at KANAL, we questioned the usual conventions of architectural practice. 3 offices under the name Atelier KANAL, Noah Architecten from Brussels, EM2N from Zurich, Surgis and Bates from London and Brussels, become a new entity. Our work is made in a common ground, but we also invited critical friends, curators, artists, historians. Anna Wiebroek, the wonderful theatre designer from Düsseldorf, Peter Cahola Schmal, Joseph Wouters, Lucy Mackenzie, Benoit van Innis, the late Benoit van Innis, Anne Pontigny, all who brought different voices to the table and encouraged us to think about the potential for interaction between art and society. The work is no longer by one hand, but by definition, by several hands. The credit list you see here shows that every project is the work of many hands and many minds. This is just the architect team of 50 people. The final idea, the empty space, is that this is a project that will never be finished, and we enjoy that idea. And we hope that what will be finished is book 2 that we are starting. You can see that this book was always the first of a triptych: thinking, making, sharing. And now we are starting on the making of this crazy, wonderful career project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stevens. Penso que ha sigut una conferència molt interessant. Ara voldríem que el Fernando Menis ens vingués a explicar los jardines del Tanque, que és el guanyador de la categoria d'espais exteriors de l'última edició de la 6ª. Muchas gracias, Fernando.
Hello, good evening. For me, it's a very special day because I am from Tenerife. My base is Tenerife, but all my formation was in Barcelona during a very long period. And I try to show the atmosphere in a lot of projects, but how is our point of view of our project. This is the tank that was the winner, and this is the atmosphere of the tank, and the atmosphere before there was refinery. Before the refinery, this is my island, and I can suppose that this part is like the rest of the island. Later was banana plantation, because in the plot of land is very close to the capital. Normally it's agriculture around the city. And this was in 1955. We have the one refinery, and is just the first one and unique in Spain. And all the peninsula, we send the petrol for all the peninsula, but the factory was in Tenerife, Cepsa. And this was when they dismantled the factory, and we with Dulce Seraites, we're fighting that save one tank, save one tank. At the end, in this moment, is a human heritage tank of petrol with the park. This is the entrance. This is his house, Suzuki photo is amazing inside. Sometimes festival like that. This was Jaume Plensa, one exhibition there. And this is the tank, and this is the park. The park have a little asphalt here, and the reason is because, for remember that this was a tank of petrol. And this is banana plantation, and this is the trees and the plants that I can suppose that before banana plantation was there. This banana plantation, this is the entrance. Here is very small entrance. This is a little like Palladio. Is every time is smaller, and you come inside to the tank for here. This is the atmosphere. This is, we reused a lot of tube that we found on the place. This is a finger that we reused too, and this is the entrance. And this is the finger how it was before for go to the boat, and we reused in this space, like entrance. This is a bottle after Corona, that there is a lot of bottles of oxygen, and we reused the bottle. We cut, we painted, and we make minions, light. And why minions? Because the tank, the surrounding are banana plantation, and the minions like bananas. And this is the light, and this is the light of the minions. Night light, night light. And the different atmosphere in the middle is the local area. That was before to the banana plantation. People on the benches in different situations. And at the same time, I am making my house, and I pick 63,000 tons of scrap steel for my house. And I make all the tubes from the tin. This I make my stairs with scrap steel. Oh. Natural ventilation that we have there. Sometimes this is Jordi Bernardo photos, well, like that, when they open. And this, I make the drawings. In fact, I don't make this drawing. I make the project, I make everything on the side. Make the house for one architect is one. And I make one model, one scale. And later, one architect helped me and he drew all my house that I don't have any drawing before. The stairs, the details. Always we try to produce in all our project. This is one public square over the indoor in this athletic stadium. And this is a public square, and it's the ceiling of the stadium. And this is full of space outside that is public, and the people can use. And inside is like one square, but cover, and this is the cover of the square. This is very precise piece for work. Where you want, you have electricity, cables, air condition, everything. I tried that in the correct position. And this is in Poland, a competition that we won. And one day it's like that, one day it's like this, depend. You can open the doors. And this was the atmosphere of the construction. Now we are in Poland, and they are very, very good construction people. They're very incredible. But in this moment, it's very cheaper. The employees, we make one opportunity and make one building, everything by hand, nothing prefab, nothing, everything with the Polish employees. We make homologation of the new materials, and we can find this kind of atmosphere. This is a video, my video, to one day of the construction. The people broken and cleaning, very rough space. And always, only I put one example. This project have 4,300 plans. And this is one of them, very precise. They give to us some money, and we finish the project in the same money that they give to us. One day is like this, one day is like that. They use like a public space. They use for Carnival, because in winter in Poland, impossible Carnival on the street. They make everything they used for dinners, big dinners, like a multifunctional space, but in fact it's an opera. The day of the opening, the lobby. With this project, we have the support of Pedro Cerda, that is amazing engineer in acoustic, and we work together very close. And of course, Javier Espiles and more people of our team. And again, we have here a museum, and this is the cover, the ceiling of the museum. In the section, and the ceiling is the square, and the building is under the square. And they used very often, and they love the square. In Berlin, it's a competition that we want, and it's open the river to the city. And we take a boat from Poland, we paint it, waterproof, and this is the swimming pool, floating swimming pool. And this is the swimming pool in Berlin. And again, another square, but in this case, the square is a beach. And this was the beach in La Palma, competition. Parking place, garbage, and this is the city, historical heritage city. And we make this swimming pool is finished and in use. The best social space, in my opinion, is the beach, because no car, no people, the people find each other, and they are friends, but they don't know exactly where they come each other. And this is always we make all the project in the process in models. This is plastilina, and this is in Jeju, in Korea. And it's for the people, Park Sebo is the artist, and we make a very small museum to Park Sebo. How we make? The plot of land is very small. Here it's only 100 square meter, 150 square meter, and underground there is 1,500 square meter, because we want to make a garden and just produced, and this is the concept. This is my drawings. Here is the building, and the building is floating in a hole. It's this gap from where comes the light. And this is the building, very small one. Probably this is the more important project in my life. When I finished here, I was in Paris, and later come back to my island. And in '84, there is a competition. We are very young in this moment, and we make this competition, and we won the competition. The jury was signed to Isa, Peña, and Chegui. It's amazing, was amazing opportunity for us. And the competition was put one structure, because this is a drago. We have in our money in 1,000 pesetas, this drago. And here, the Instituto Torroja proposed make one structure, even one in the middle. And you know, this is a national road. And we are working, for the moment I don't finish the project, from 1984, sorry, to now. And this is the atmosphere around the drago. Everything are very bad for them, and this is now, is close to, serían 40 years ago, working in the same project. And this is like the crypta of the drago, where we can put a play of the motion of the place. And here was my formation that was in Barcelona, but I think in Madrid the same, where our formation is in this, Le Corbusier, Mies, where it's very rational and very good formation. Very good between the relation between the motion and the reason. Later came Kandinsky and destroyed all my drawings. And later came Lanzarote. We have my landscape I love my landscape, like you love Barcelona, but I love Barcelona too. And this is Lanzarote, and you see the grapes survive, and everybody know this kind of amazing agriculture formation. Yes, Frances was in a workshop, and I discovered to him César Manrique. César Manrique is full of emotion, but like Mies van der Rohe, they don't have any reason, only emotion. But always he found friends, and the friends are very good. And they find friend of Fraiotto, they was friend of architect from Madrid, and the architect absorbed the reason, and he put the motion, and he made a very incredible pro-work in Lanzarote. Now the foundation are looking all this time for the spirit of Lanzarote, and probably in our island, all of us look Lanzarote like a different island, and it's for the influence of César and La Fundación. And this is the drago that you see before. And this is something that we have at the same time. We make sometimes some workshops, and I have now one conversation, and I think we need to recuperate this, because in the workshop we study something like that, nature and form. Fire, wind, air, but no technical knowledge. Everything is only emotion. Try to try to integrate in one cube the different part of the nature. We have, I don't know how many, 200, 300 cubes. This was in Morocco for the invite to us to the Arsenal, to the Morocco pavilion, and we start to study hatching like a city, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, and the erosion produce condensation, and try to understand the city not like a fingers, because normally the city is 2D, and we start to think in the city in the theoretical way in 3D. Probably Venice is 3D, because you go for here, go for the other side, everything are in connection. But Hong Kong, for example, is 2D, is one plot of land and fingers. Maybe some make a connection with a bridge between them, but only for mobility, not for help. No, one tower don't help to another one. They are freedom. Always make models, Maroc Pavilion, and this is a competition that we won, and it's one neo-Gothic building in Tenerife that was the first school for women. And a few weeks ago, the City Hall organized one competition, and the winner of the competition is Caixa Forum. It's going to be a Caixa. But this is from the 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we are making, and this school was closed because for security reasons with the kids. And we propose open all the public space to the city, and this is going to be this, and in the middle, I think we're going to have lucky if they take this building, like one museum more in Spain. And always, I think the amazing atmosphere of being the contraction is very problematic. Everybody that here are, very hard contraction. But at the same time, it's a kind of satisfaction that the day that you visit is something that love and hate, and this is on the contraction, making experience in the roof, taking rooms like that, and try to don't lose the spirit of this place, the spirit. Different tests about the acoustic in the ceiling. This was the atmosphere before. Now in the contraction, that is completely different. I love the rain, this kind of interaction. And this we make for vertical pieces. Here there is a patio for the installation, elevators, and this is Malagamba photo. And he make a photo through the window, but this window, with the time, we close the window, because we need to close the window with concrete, because in the back is a fire. But we take this with the people from our office, and we draw in the concrete what there is before, the vision to before to the place. And this is in Switzerland. We won the competition again. This is Boiga's influence. This is you make a barbell and change the one surrounding. Now we are in Switzerland. Everything is prefab. Everything is different. Contraction, computers, everything is clean. The people of the opening. But this is completely the opposite. This is in Africa. This is in Cabo Verde. This is the place like that. Now we work in different way, completely different way. This is the atmosphere of the factory when they cut the stone. It's a chaos, completely chaos. But they make this beautiful. And we make, from the cost of the square, maybe 80% is on the island. Not go outside. Only the pergolas that in Ingu, they don't have good. And this is the square. This is how we understand Roberto Burle Marx when they make white and black in Brazil, but we understand in a different way, And this is the square, this is the place. We make this work freedom. We don't, because they're very poor. They don't have money. But you can make something really unique. This square in Switzerland, maybe the cost is amazing, but there are one employee, 1 month is 200 euros, and in Suiza is 5,000. The bar. And thank you very much for the attention. I hope you find it interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Fernando. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por esta conferència. Bueno, ara us deixem 5 minuts i a les 7 començarem amb la presentació de tota aquesta 7a edició. Us deixo amb l'Oriol, un altre dels directors del Premi, que us explicarà tot això. Gràcies.
Hola, no, jo crec que millor seguim, perquè així podem començar puntuals a les 8 amb l'entrega de premis. First of all, for this second part, we have translators at the entrance available at your convenience if you want, for translation to English or Spanish. Tenemos traductores en la entrada por si yo voy a hacer también la presentación en catalán por si alguien tiene un problema. ¿De acuerdo? Bueno, en todo caso,
welcome.
per gli amici italiani.
In this second half, we will be dedicating to the jury. As you know, this award has set up a jury that works free of charge. We have 4 categories, as you know: built heritage, exterior spaces, urban planning, and restoration. We have a jury, and this jury is formed primarily by professionals who have been awarded in the past or who have gained recognition in previous editions of this award. And we like that because this is a way of saying that this award is a collective work. It's a group effort on behalf of all professionals and all those of us who are dedicated to intervention on existing architecture. As Ramon just said, as a spoiler, we received 238 bids or candidates this year, spread out amongst the 4 categories. And what I shall do is to introduce you to the jury members for each category. And one member of the jury will come up on stage to provide a general assessment on the criteria for selection. Having been selected or having been shortlisted is already a prize. The level that we see year after year is getting better, and every year we receive projects and interventions of the utmost interest. I could not be a jury member. It's a very difficult task. For instance, for category A, we have 158 projects, and getting to know about them, assessing them, is by no means easy. As Ramon said, I would like to thank the members of the jury for this task they have carried out. And I would like to start by explaining the short-listed projects published on May 15th, some days ago now. And for category A, I would like to introduce to the 3 members of the jury: Stefano Francesco Musso, over there. Buongiorno, Francesco. Let's give him a hand. As his name says, he is a full professor of architectural restoration at the University of Genoa and president of the work group on heritage of the Council of Architects of Europe. Also with us is Stan Koels. For a personal reason, he was unable to be here with us today. He is a Belgian architect, co-founder of the Anno Architectum firm, and he was one of the finalists in the previous edition with the Winter Circus in Ghent. He is also a university lecturer at Leuven University, where he teaches and researches on restoration and renovation of heritage. And lastly, Meritxell Araja. She should be around here somewhere. Hi, Meritxell, how are you? As you know, she is a Catalan architect, professor of projects at the University of Girona, and she's had her own firm since 1995. I would like to highlight her interventions at the Wall of Vic or at the Castle of the Tossa de Montbui, one of the most recent projects she's been working on. She was also a finalist in the previous edition of this award with an amazing intervention in Gavà, in a Josep Lluís Sert building. I would like to invite her to come on stage. I will be showing the projects on screen, and I will try to keep in tune with her presentation. Thank you, Uriol. Good evening to you all. It's an honor to be able to share with you some words on behalf of the jury for the Built Heritage category. As Uriel just said, the challenge in selecting these projects has been considerable given the wide array of the 158 projects that have been submitted to this award of different types, contexts, sizes, dimensions, states of conservation, preservation, use, and type of intervention. Some are large catalogued buildings, some others have not been recognized as heritage buildings yet. As a jury, we have assessed each project according to 5 main criteria: architectural quality, the relationship with the environment, suitability to the program, sustainability, and innovation. But we have also considered a balance between public and private use, territorial diversity, the effort when it comes to restoration and renovation, the transformation in use, new contributions, and above all, a dialogue between existing and new devices. The 15 shortlisted projects are not just good ideas, they are built realities that stand out because of their maturity, smart interventions, respectful interventions, not limited to preserving but lending continuity and sense to what already exists. They reactivate environments that generate life, and above all, they look to the future. This has been a process of intense, rich discussion, long-lasting, and we would like to congratulate all those involved, from the technical experts to the institutions. I would like to thank you all for helping us along the way. It has been very interesting for us to see how heritage can be a space of conscious transformation. The idea is to preserve with sense, with meaning. In the hands of those who worked here, heritage is not longer a closed category, and it becomes a true laboratory for projects, something that we actually really assessed. What we admire is the attitude sustaining this effort, a mixture of lucidity, humbleness, and firmness, a way of understanding architecture that studies, analyzes, and interprets, but also acts, admires and respects the future, but not the past, but not idealizing, lending continuity to the present and to the future. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marichel. She explained this really well for us, this category, as well as all others, but this one in particular, architectural built heritage, is not just catalogued buildings. We're talking about heritage in the broadest sense. Heritage understood from a contemporary point of view in terms of reuse, recovery, renovation. So now I would like to invite the amazing teams that have been shortlisted. I would like to congratulate you all and come and collect your diplomas. We will take also a group picture. And the jury, please come on stage too. Shortlisted projects, please come on stage.
Aneu pujant, no sigueu porucs.
Do come on stage, don't be shy.
Please, we'll take a picture all together, the jury and the shortlisted. Gràcies.
Thank you. Let's carry on with category B, exterior spaces. Exterior spaces are heritage sites formed by buildings and their entourage, the areas in the vicinity. Now, members of the jury. Michele De Poli, here she is, up front. Landscape architect. She studied landscape architecture, urban planning and design in the Netherlands at the Wageningen Agricultural University. She is the co-founder of MAID Associati, an Italian office, and she works on landscape and planning projects focused on criteria of evolution in sensitive areas, and she was also shortlisted in the last edition of these awards with the project Antonio Carregaro Negrin Cultural Park in Mogliano, Veneto. The next member of the jury is Fernando Menis. He is an architect from the Canary Islands. He studied in Barcelona, and he was a winner in the previous edition in this same category for the Tanque Garden. His track record expands more than 40 years, not just in Tenerife, but also internationally, with works showcased at MoMA, the Venice Biennale, and lastly, Getzani Goikuria from the Basque Country. She's from San Sebastian, co-founder of BARC, where she develops a silent architecture dedicated to the transformation of buildings, always considering that a building is not just a building, it may also be a public space. And she was a finalist with the last chance for a slow dance project in L'Arabezzo in the previous edition of this award. Now please get Zane, come on stage. Before I start by reading the text we have prepared together with my colleagues Fernando and Michaela, I would like to thank you for the invitation in being a member of the jury for this award, organized with so much love, really. Our colleagues, I mean, the situation shows a situation of different interventions. In addition to their architectural value, they can be a highlight for being role models, establishing a dialogue in the context in which they emerge in each case. From the lending value of a plot of land in Majorca to a memorial in Warsaw, Poland, to large-scale projects such as the Gardens of the Mediterranean in La Olla Park in Almeria, or the industrial regeneration of Can Batlló, where industrial volumes become new spaces for play and recreation to be used by people, following with the Leon Petit Pedralbes intervention of the small Cortevecchia Square. All of these are projects that show the dedication and passion of architects in their daily work, where urban spaces are used as a tool to reminisce tragic memories or revitalize undecisive areas. Actions that touch human sensitivities and determine the environment in which we live whilst stimulating healthy atmospheres. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Gerdane. As you have seen, there are 10 shortlisted projects for this category. I would like to invite them to come on stage, collect their diplomas, and take a group picture. Congratulations.
Félicitations, on dit comme ça. Felicitazioni. Sì, sì, recollivo il diploma in... Seguim, categoria C.
Let's carry on with category C, urban planning. In order to recover, in order to revalue, we need a framework of action that would allow to foster new projects. Although there are less projects in this category, does not mean it is less important than others. As members of the jury, and we are honored to have them with us, are Ioana Spanu, who could not attend because she had a personal problem. She's the director for urban planning department at Barcelona Regional, and associate professor of urban planning at the Higher Technical School of Architecture of Barcelona. She focuses her career and her research on cartography as a tool to interpret reality. Also with us is Batu Kepetkioglu, a Turkish architect. It was hard to have him here. It's not difficult, though, to get a visa from Turkey. I don't really know why, but we managed it, and he's responsible for the Data Studio, a multidisciplinary design studio, where we would highlight, among many other things, the project for recreation and ecological restoration, Tuzla, for which he was recognized with the National Landscape Architecture Award in Turkey in 2021. And lastly, Bark Akkerhuis, who will be providing the assessment for this category. He is a German architect. He works in the studio Architects in Paris, a team formed by more than 40 professionals from many different disciplines. He was a finalist in the previous edition for this same category with a master plan, the Miel Fabrik, an incredibly large complex with 55,000 square meters. So, Bart, please come and tell us the reasons for the selection.
Senores is...
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Here, thank you very much for the invitation. I'd like to show you very quickly, or tell you very quickly about the 5 projects, actually. So we start in Tarragona, I need my glasses here, sorry, where the Parc Baxia Comprehensive Plan is boldly reimagining a historic maritime neighborhood. This isn't just a facelift, it's a full spectrum revitalization. From Roman ruins to modern mobility changes, the plan responds with care and creativity, improving housing, reclaiming public spaces, boosting local commerce, and making the neighborhood accessible and alive again, all while engaging deeply with residents. Its heritage as a lever for the community, energy, and not just a museum piece. From Spain, we cross to ancient Corinth, where history is measured in millennia. The master plan for Corinth dares to integrate a world-class archaeological site with a living, breathing village. By enhancing public spaces, improving mobility, and opening access to monuments, it connects local life and ancient stones into a unified landscape. It's not about freezing time, but weaving time, and inviting locals and visitors alike into a shared story of place. Back in Barcelona, the master plan for Campa de l'Arpa and Clot neighborhoods show us that even dense, everyday urban fabric deserves extraordinary care. This plan champions ecological renewal, affordable housing, and heritage preservation. Not as separate goals, but as one integrated vision. With a sharp focus on local identity, it transforms not just the built environment, but the quality of life for those who call it home. Next, we walk to the Camino Royal, the Camino de Santiago, through the heart of Castilla y León. Here, the master plan recognized something very profound. The Camino isn't just a route, it's a moving city of 4,000 pilgrims, a living cultural landscape. This plan protects and revitalizes the path and its rural communities, proposing pilgrim gardens, bioclimatic shelters, and reactivation of traditional hostels. All while blending heritage, nature, and innovation with remarkable sensitivity. It says the right to the road is the right to belong. Finally, we arrive in Saint-Omer in France, where a rigorous yet flexible heritage plan is redefining what it means to protect history. Developed over 5 years, With deep local involvement, this plan balances strict architectural rules with practical creativity. It supports shopkeepers, residents and schools while reclaiming forgotten gardens and neglected squares. It's a masterclass in making regulations accessible and human-centered. Heritage planning as an act of care. Each of these projects shows us the power of thoughtful urbanism. They protect memory, but they also cultivate resilience, social justice, and beauty. They ask us not to just what cities were, but what they can become. Congratulations to all the nominees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bart. Com a les altres categories.
Thank you, Bart. As in the other categories, congratulations for the shortlisted projects.
Thomas over there. Please. Tots els seleccionats estan patint perquè, clar, poden...
All the shortlisted projects are suffering because they could be finalists, they could even be winners, and they don't know it yet.
Bueno, acabarem no acabarem, perquè, com sabeu, després...
As you know, after the categories, we also have mentions, but now we have to talk about the D category, disclosure. Last but not least, there's not any category that is less important than another one. It's a key tool to convey the values of heritage that go beyond the stones to recover social value and nowadays the need to reuse resources. We're not only talking about books, but we have other kind of submissions. We have films. It goes beyond the architect world to land in the society, and it's a key stone to recover our buildings, our towns, our cities. The jury for this category, we have Stephen Bates. He's given us a speech before. He is a professor at TU Munich. He works at in an office. They have other offices in other places, and he was a finalist last year with this book that gathers the huge projects that they're carrying on in Brussels in the Pompidou Center. In this category, we also have Mariona Benedito, an architect by ETSAP in 2000. Nowadays, she is a professor in the same department with architectonical projects in ETSAP, Valles School, and she is co-commissioner in WIA Next World, in the World Architecture Congress, Becoming Architectures for the Planet in Transition. She has a key role there, and last edition she won the special mention New European Bauhaus for recovering the offices and apartments. And last but not least, Elodie Degarve. She is also a film director. She won an award last year with an amazing documentary with 3 architects, and she She is in the editorial board of the Belgian magazine A+ Architecture, and I'm going to invite her to come here up on stage. So please, Elodie de Gav, if you can come up on stage.
And friends of the architecture. It has been an interesting and challenging experience assessing the many projects submitted, and we are really grateful to you, the authors of all these projects, and also to the Architectural Heritage Intervention Award team for inviting us to the table and taking such good care of us. Thank you so much. I also want to thank very much Mariona Benedito and Stephen Bates for having been such good companions. We were a very nice team. Thank you. So as a jury of 3, we did not know each other at the outset and yet soon found common ground. Unfortunately, I am not allowed right now to reveal the final outcome of our discussions, but we can share some of our thoughts and reflections. Within an age of climate emergency and economic uncertainty, together with a questioning of regional and global identity, the meaning and potential of architectural heritage is also open to question. This year, the long-listed entries we noticed a growing interest in those projects that brought into focus elements and conditions that were historically neglected within the heritage debates, bringing them into new light and relevance. Of the long list, we identified 3 primary initiatives within the broad frame of disclosure and dissemination: the documentary, the monographic, and what we chose to call the inclusive. Documentary projects approached heritage through a morphological lens with a generosity of content and detail, bringing an essential tool for future research. Monographic projects addressed the object of work at a multiple scales of detail, often shedding light on lesser-known production. The more inclusive projects generally promoted social action and accessibility of information towards a non-specialist audience, often promoting new perspectives on the notion of heritage. It was interesting that that of the total projects submitted, 1/3 of the entries were books, 1/3 were books associated with events, and 1/3 were new formats, which represent an interesting evolution of how professionals are broadening the understanding and dissemination of heritage and culture. So congratulations to you all, a little bit of patience, and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Elodie. Ara convido com...
Now, as I did before, I'm going to ask all the selected projects to come on stage to collect your diplomas. Thank you and congratulations to you all.
Jury.
And please, members of the jury too.
Bé, això no s'acaba aquí.
This is not the end, as I said before. Out of the 4 categories, we give 2 mention award with different focuses, with different goals. The first mention is the special mention New Bauhaus, New European Bauhaus, which is a European Parliament initiative led by Marco Ros, who cannot be here with us today, but he sent us a video that we will share with you today with his reflection on the project that were shortlisted. So please, let's play the video. The directors of the award, we are also members of the jury. Hola.
National Biennial of Architectural Heritage Intervention. I am glad to contribute to this event today, which main goal is to distinguish quality interventions in all the aspects of built heritage and to contribute to its dissemination. In this regard, the new European Bauhaus plays a crucial role. When we talk about the new European Bauhaus, we are talking about a cultural paradigm shift for a new political era. Likewise, the historical Bauhaus, it is about improving people's lives. It is about putting culture, architecture, design, and urban planning at the service of our societies. The new European Bauhaus invites us to think about how we inhabit our built spaces and comes at a key moment for the European Union. During the legislature of the implementation of the Green Deal, the recovery funds, and the way of building renovations. The new European Bauhaus aims to adapt our homes, our neighborhoods, and our cities to these changes through energy efficiency, beauty and stores as comfort, and the adaptability of spaces to their use. And finally, inclusion, allocating funds to those who need them most. It is time to transform our cities and our heritage, to use this public money to improve the lives of citizens and thus strengthen our democracy. It is time for the new European Bauhaus. And for this reason, I am honored to be part of the jury members who decided the project that will receive the award to recognize the European Award and the honorable mention New European Bauhaus 2025. Increasingly, heritage interventions incorporate the values promoted by the New European Bauhaus: reuse, including of heritage, which is what architecture heritage intervention is all about, is in itself a value of the New European Bauhaus. I would like to announce that between the projects that were especially taken into account to award the honorable mention European Bauhaus 2025 are the following: Gare Maritime, for the effort to provide such a large operation with sustainability in construction and use; Corral de Don Diego, for its skillful restoration intervention in the city center and new social use of public space; Share and Reuse Factory, for the social reuse linked to the courtyard; and OM Musical Complex, which main element is the transformation of the heritage into cultural facilities. Those 4 projects and the award itself are great examples of projects that contribute to the preservation of collective memory. I would like to wish you a great event and congratulations to all the projects selected and participants. We keep working in design our future cities, taking stock of the best legacy of our heritage.
Bé, i arribem al final, l'última.
And we've come to the end with the last mention. It's the restoration mention that aims to select among all the submitted works those interventions in the most classical approach that have been developed following criteria, very precise criteria. Here we have Annalyn Stevens, a member of the jury. Annalyn is a Belgian architect, also a professor she's Belgian, but she's not from Leuven. I was reading Elodie, sorry. She's an expert on heritage in Juxta firm, with which she won the special mention for restoration last year with Groothuis Museum in Bruges. So I would like her to come on stage to explain the criteria that they use to choose the winner that we will get to know at 8.
Good evening. In the previous edition of the European Award for Architectural Heritage Intervention, we with Juxta Architecten Ghent were honored with a special mention for restoration for the first phase of the restoration of the Groothuis Museum in Bruges. This recognition offered me the unique opportunity to join this organization as a jury member, which I'm very thankful for. It granted me valuable insights into several outstanding restoration projects across Europe, many of which I would never have discovered otherwise. As mentioned earlier, a total of 238 projects were submitted. In the initial evaluation phase, 18 were shortlisted for the special mention for restoration due to their exceptional technical and methodological approaches. From this group, 6 projects were given special consideration because of their exceptional quality, precision, and respect for the heritage values at stake. To avoid any bias, I will list them in alphabetical order. Carnaval Museum, the meticulous overall restoration showcasing profound craftsmanship and extensive knowledge of both history and technique stood out. The refinement of the new interventions, along with a respectful attitude toward the original heritage and a clear, compelling vision for transforming the site into a modern museum, made this project exemplary. Chiaravala Noller Tower. This project impressed with its methodological rigor in the development and execution of the restoration proposal for the bell tower. The work adhered strictly to the principles of discernibility, reversibility, and minimal intervention. Technical precision blends seamlessly with historical sensitivity. Ciutadella Park Greenhouse. The project was marked by an exhaustive documentary study of the historical and architectural evolution of the site. The team demonstrated adaptability during the execution phase as new insights into the origin of the finishes emerged. Special mention goes to the exceptional restoration techniques used to preserve the original materials to the greatest extent possible. Escola Spia's Dome. We appreciated the extensive interdisciplinary research into the causes of damage, utilizing modern survey techniques aimed at preserving as much original material as possible. The project also stood out for its in-depth color research, skilled glazing craftsmanship, and overall technical sophistication. Gatekeeper's Lodge of Finca Guel Gaudi. What stood out here was the precision and quality of the restoration of Gaudi's peculiar construction methods that are neither common nor conventional. The original design intent, in terms of physical performance, textures, colors, and finishes, was faithfully restored. And the last one, Piscine d'Ixelles. This project was praised for the overall quality of its restoration. It pays tribute to the original construction techniques used at the time and succeeds in preserving essential elements of Hennewick's concept. Transdisciplinary studies regarding structural stability, finishes, color schemes, and historical context informed the design decisions throughout. Each of these projects demonstrates a high level of research, meticulous care, precise craftsmanship, and creative design. Some follow a more restrained approach, while others are bolder in expression, yet all exhibit profound respect for the heritage values embedded in their respective sites. A commitment to preserving and our cultural history for future generations. Congratulations to the shortlisted project.
Bé, acabem aquí la segona part de la cerimònia.
Let's finish here the second part of this ceremony. We can have now a little break and we will start at 8 with the award ceremony where we will get to know the finalists and the winners. Thank you and see you in a bit.
Bona tarda.
Good evening. Good evening.
Buenas tardes. Podem anar seient?
Could you please take your seats?
Bona tarda a tots.
Good evening. Please take your seats.
L'acte és a punt de començar.
The next part of the event is about to start. This is the moment we were all waiting for.
Moltes gràcies.
Bé, molt bona tarda.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome all to the award-giving ceremony of the European Prize for Intervention in Architectural Heritage 2025, a biennial event organized together with the School of Architects of Catalonia, supported by the Catalan government, Barcelona Provincial Council, Barcelona City Council, and the Metropolitan area of Barcelona. These awards were created to distinguish quality interventions in heritage as well as to contribute to their dissemination. It is therefore an honor to host this event and to be able to participate in this European meeting of the profession.
Event and participate in this European meeting of the profession. Voldria saludar les autoritats que ens acompanyen.
I would now like to greet the authorities who are here with us. Ms. Filo Cañete, Mayor of Sant Adrià del Besòs and President of the Department of General Services and Digital Transition at Barcelona Provincial Council. Welcome. Ms. Maria Boigas, Chief Architect at Barcelona City Council. Mr. Ramon Torra, Manager for Barcelona Metropolitan Area. Mr. Andreu Felip, Director of the Territorial Culture Services of the Catalan Government in Barcelona. Ms. Laura Raola, Director of Communication at the European Commission Representation Office in Barcelona, Mr. Guim Costa, Dean of the Association of Architects of Catalonia, and Ms. Catherine Anthony-Usens, Consular Agent of the Consul General of Belgium in Barcelona. This prize, which reaches its 7th edition, has consolidated itself as a catalytic initiative, as well as an observatory of the new challenges of contemporary architecture in the preservation and intervention of built heritage. In this edition, 238 projects carried out in Europe between 2018 and 2024 have been presented in their various categories. Very soon we will start handing out the diplomas and the awards, but first let's welcome Ms. Filo Cañete, who will be giving some welcoming remarks on behalf of Barcelona Provincial Council.
Moltes gràcies a tots i a...
Thank you all. Good evening. Dear authorities, members of the jury, organizers, architects, finalists, namely, lovers of architectural heritage. It is an honor for Barcelona Provincial Council to host this 7th edition of the European Prize on Intervention in Architectural Heritage, especially here at this amazing auditorium of the Industrial School of Barcelona. This is a testimony of our dedication to building and preservation of our legacy. Originating from the former textile factory of the Batlló family, the work by Rafael Gustadino, and with the singularity of a project by Joan Rubió that was unfinished, this auditorium was meticulously renovated by Barcelona Provincial Council, and today, this Catalan Art Nouveau industrialist jewel is reborn as a multi-purpose facility, technologically advanced, to host events such as these, public events for promoting culture, social affairs. This is a venue that we open up to the public as we do today. its revitalization is an example of how heritage can establish a dialogue with contemporary times, an example of how to invest into heritage entails a social and cultural return to society. The commitment of the Provincial Council is long-lasting. For over 1 century, our local heritage service, the ESPAL, is providing technical support and financial support to the municipalities in the region in order to preserve its legacy. This is one of the first services that were created with this purpose anywhere in Spain. Being hosts and partners with these European awards aligns with our values, the promotion of culture, the preservation of identity through architecture. These awards, these European acknowledged awards, celebrate interventions that respect the history and that innovate for the future. I wish you, in a heartfelt manner, that all of the participants and finalists enjoyed and end up enjoying this memorable evening to you all. Let's celebrate architectural excellence and, of course, our passion to heritage. Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Cañete. Let's hope you enjoy this evening. And now, let's greet Mr. Guim Costa, Dean of the Association of Architects of Catalonia. Thank you very much. Thank you, Carolina. First of all, I would like to give special thanks to the Mayor of Sant Adrià, Ms. Filo Cañete, for being here with us. Thank you for being here. Also to all other authorities, politicians, and managers of the public administration, such as Ramon Torra, Maria Buigas, Andreu Felip, Laura Raola. That is all of you here with us, colleagues, architects. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here today.
Enthusiasm and pride. As Dean of the Architects Association of Catalonia, I take part in this award ceremony of the European Award for Architectural Heritage Intervention 2025. These awards, now celebrating its first decade, have become one of the oldest and most established awards in Europe dedicated specifically to interventions in architectural heritage. It was founded with a very clear purpose by its 4 founders and now directors: to recognize high-quality interventions in the built heritage in all its complexity and to contribute to their dissemination across Europe. Amb el pas dels anys,
over time, these awards have become a point of people, citizens and professionals getting together, a space to share best practices and reflect on the new challenges posed by globalization and to better understand the fundamental role played by heritage in the construction of our collective identity. In relation, talking about reflecting, sharing discussions, and talking of what heritage means, what it means to protect, what it means to intervene, I would like to share an anecdote I read not that long ago. In a working environment, in a labor environment in the periphery of a European city, a team of architects intervened a large industrial warehouse to turn it into a civic center. During the works, they discovered an old painting done by hand, almost erased by the passing of time, and it said, "Here we learn to fight and live." Let me remind you, this was a former industrial warehouse. So some trade unionists, I believe, wrote on the wall, "Here we learn to fight and live." It was not part of any inventory of heritage of the municipality. It had no formal value, but when the neighbors saw it, they asked that it be preserved. For them, that piece of a wall was much more than some remains. It was part of their collective memory of what had defined them as a community. This example should be used to emphasize the fact that the protection of heritage should not be limited to what has been catalogued or that which is aesthetically valued. Oftentimes, what is most significant to a community is not visible in inventories, but only memories are, and the spaces that shaped its history. And an architect must know how to read and interpret this. So intervening in heritage also means to know how to listen, to detect the hidden intangible values that make a place be a significant place. And with this attitude, by rebuilding and reconstructing bonds and links, we revitalize memory and we make heritage be a living tool for dialogue between generations. From our QAC, from the association, we work to fulfill this mission, to respect the memory of the various sites of a shared history and the communities that breathe new life. With the defense, with the department, the DEPA, and the task that we do with these European awards, there's a good example of that. Lastly, I would like to thank all those who made this edition possible, the jury members with their criteria and dedication, the participating teams for the quality of their proposals, and especially to the organizers of the event for their vision and perseverance. Thank you, and congratulations to all participants and winners who we will find out about soon. Thank you.
Bé, doncs, moltes gràcies.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. And now let's start with the award-giving ceremony to the finalists and winners. Built heritage, exterior spaces, urban planning, and disclosure. We will also be giving out the special mentions, that is the special mention New European Bauhaus and Restoration. Each category has 2 or 3 finalists and 1 winner. When you hear your names, you can come on stage to collect your diplomas in the case of the finalists and the award in the case of the winners. This year, they will receive a photograph of the acknowledged Catalan photographer Oriol Maspons, who contributed decisively to the renovation of Spanish photographic language in the 60s. These photographs come from the collection of the Photographic Archive of Catalonia. You will receive some books thanks to the Archive Foundation. When you come on stage, do not forget to take a picture here at the front. And in the case of the mentions, we will be awarding 1 single award to the winner for each mention. Let's get started, and let's start with disclosure, including all those initiatives, activities, or actions, the aim of which are to disseminate the values of architectural heritage. In this edition, a total of 28 proposals have taken part in, and amongst them, we see many books. Ms. Filo Cañete will be handing the award, will be giving the award.
Moltes gràcies.
Thank you very much. Let me just make some emphasis on what these events mean when we talk about architecture and heritage. What does disclosure have to do with this? Well, I believe it's important. We believe that this category, disclosure, means disseminating all the actions that are carried out and all the events that are organized. Everything that is related to rehabilitation, restoration, and actions on heritage is important, but disseminating the work in order to establish a connection with citizens, with what? Or with actually being able to reach closer to all citizens in many different ways, with many different tools. Engaging citizens with all those things that you want to disseminate. It's really important how you disseminate information to establish a clear bond. Connecting means that people can identify themselves. Connecting means that people care for what you do. They need to feel identified with the things that have been done, and if they do that, we will be able to preserve our work in the long run. So action is as important as disseminating and disclosing what you are doing. We're talking about explaining, educating, connecting with citizens so that they can learn about everything that has been done. I'm referring, in essence, to engage with people. That is why this line is so important. It entails disseminating the actions that we carry out. And along these lines, I believe we must congratulate the spirit in which people have conducted these actions. Very soon, I will be using my own allegations as president of the Service of General Services and Digital Transition. And let me say how digital transition plays a key role in disclosure too. All of the tools provided this digital era, the era of transformation and transition, through all the elements and tools provided by the digital realm, educational platforms, virtual visits, all of these things that make these actions be closer to citizens, all the actions. So I believe I had to emphasize on what I believe is important, and that's why I consider this line of the award is important. Along these lines, let me congratulate for the enthusiasm, the work, and the effort put into these projects, especially the future vision and the use of digital means in this category. Congratulations to those that have been finalists, and obviously congratulations to the winner for this award category. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you all, especially for making use of these tools so that citizens can be better connected with our actions.
Doncs som-hi, a punt per l'entrega dels primers diplomes. La primera obra finalista en aquesta categoria.
Now, the first finalist, Sulem Patrimoni, Vic City Council. Ana Rubira and Elisenda Foradada collect the award.
Enhorabona.
Congratulations. No, Ms. Cañete, not yet. There's another finalist. Let's continue with the next finalist. Alot Ulot, Architecture, Landscape, and Garruchi Delirium, a book by a pair of architects and Roger Serrat Calvo. Eduard Callis and Roger Serrat Calvo will be collecting the diploma. Good, and now we will proceed with the winning project in the disclosure category, which is the book Ruins, Scars and Traces, the Rehabilitation Process of the Church of San Agustín de San Cristóbal de la Laguna by Estudio SIC. Esaú Acosta will collect the award. And while Esaú comes up on stage, come on up. We will read the jury, who emphasizes that through very accessible graphic language, the book manages to reach a wide audience because it offers an interactive experience that allows readers to explore the ruins as they discover each find. Congratulations.
Sí, buenas tardes.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank you for this award. It is difficult to work in architecture. It is difficult to write a book. Imagine a book in architecture. I'd like to congratulate La Laguna City Council, who helped us with these initiatives. We started this project in 2007. And it's turned into a disseminating book that represents a boy or girl that enter a ruin and start collecting different pieces and elements. And in the end, what they try to do is taking care of them. And this is what we think heritage is, to take care of everything that surrounds us. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Doncs l'enhorabona.
Congratulations, And thank you, Ms. Cañete. And now we will move on to urban planning category and include all the planning work aimed at the protection, conservation, and enhancement of architectural heritage. This year, proposals have been presented in cities as diverse as Corinth or Barcelona. And this award will be presented by Mr. Ramon Torra.
Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, fellow colleagues, representatives of different institutions that support this this feast, this occasion. Without looking back, it's difficult to move on, so history is key. So heritage is crucial to build a city, to build the heritage of the future. And in this sense, from the Metropolitan area, we understand that in our daily work to give the support to all citizens, with the dichotomy center and outskirts, recovering heritage is a key factor, because without identity it's very hard to have urban quality, and the identity elements are the ones that are brought by the heritage. So architecture is key to bring the identity to our cities, and in this sense what I'd like to do is congratulate myself, or congratulate us, because we can persist trying to recognize the intervention in heritage, because heritage is a living entity, and we have to keep emphasizing it, keep giving it different lives so it can continue existing. So architects, I think, have to be able to give continuity to history through heritage intervention. That's it. I only like to congratulate the organizers because of their persistence, and congratulate ourselves to meet, because we're meeting here, and also the winners of previous editions and the winners of this 7th edition. Thank you.
Bé, doncs, els
So the finalists in this category are Pla Integral Tarragona's Part Baixa Comprehensive Plan, a work by the firms Territoris XLM and BCQ Arquitectura. The diploma will be collected by Mónica Pegué, Elena Cruz, and David Bayana.
Bé, doncs felicitats.
Congratulations. Wow, se fue, eh?
Falta un altre. I el següent finalista és Masterplan.
And the next finalist is Master Plan for the Camino de Santiago in the Autonomous Region of Castilla y León. And the diploma will be collected by Susana Balbuena and Andrés Rodríguez.
I seguim perquè ens queda...
And let's move on with the winning project, which is Bridging Time and Space Master Plan for the Regeneration of Ancient Corinth, Greece, a project promoted by the Ministry of Culture of Greece, the Organization Ephorrhea of Antiquities in Corinth, the American School of Classical Studies in Athens, and the Timio Papagiannis and Associate Studio. The award will be collected by Dimitris Polios, Diana Rossi, and Lida Driva. The jury emphasizes the fact that the project The proposal addresses the preservation of cultural heritage without restricting it to the limits of the archaeological site, but expanding it to include the surrounding modern context in a very elegant and sensitive way. Congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to thank our partners that are not here with us, the American School of Classical Studies in Athens, Ministry of Culture, and the local effort of Ancient Corinth. This was a project that the idea started 10 years ago as a process of how to have a very rich cultural landscape and integrate it through community engagement, through mobility integration, and open an archaeological site to the local settlement. Thank you very much for this, and hope we'll see it realized. Thank you very much.
Bé, doncs, moltes felicitats.
Congratulations. Let's move on now to the third category, exterior spaces. This category is aimed at all those interventions that deal with and suggest solutions for historical public spaces, both those that are declared as monumental ensembles as those that constitute the origin of towns, villages, and cities. Interventions in monument and cultural landscapes are also included. In this edition, 41 proposals have been presented at very diverse scales, from small actions of 67 square meters to large structural interventions of 330,000 square meters. Ms. Maria Buigas will be presenting this award. Good evening, authorities, colleagues, friends. Once you're the third one, you have less things to say, so I've written down things that I'd like to share. First of all, the importance of awards, that we keep promoting year after year these awards, because we have to celebrate and we have to give value to the quality, and also because we have to create a foundation for reference, because all this creates good practices, and this is a legacy that we leave for the future. So this is important. This highlights the importance of this award. Secondly, I'd like to comment on the 2026 edition. Here we have the Dean with us. During the whole year of the Barcelona being capital of architecture, our main goal is to disseminate, and during the Congress, and to discuss as well. And at the beginning, we were mentioning the importance of disseminating or giving disclosure. So thank you to Barcelona City Council, because we cannot only protect the heritage and use the stick policy and not the carrot policy. We all should feel that this resonates with us. And the Dean was saying this at the beginning. We should use this approach that when having an intervention in architecture, and not long from now, these will be the only kind of interventions that we will carry out. We should be aware that we should continue a conversation that has already started, and we should understand this already started conversation and how we could add value to this. And here I'm going to move on to the public sphere. So we have to give a thicker approach, but make it useful for new generations. And the public space, in many places in the world, is what is left between buildings, And designing the public space means allowing value to these areas and combining architectures and buildings and other spaces, which is this public space that can be designed to give value to buildings, but giving value to itself. And this is what makes us citizens. Rosa Barba, some of us were lucky enough to meet her. She said that we could have many possibilities in the public space. I think you mentioned not even 50 square meters or other intervention in large areas. So please, let's do this all together. Thank you very much.
Bé, doncs fem entrega dels diplomes.
Now let's award the diplomas to the finalists. The memorial of the old deportation station of Bobigny, France by the FEMOCRA, and the diploma is collected by Pierre-Alexandre Marchevet.
Bé, el segon finalista.
The second finalist is Urban Regeneration of the Corral de Don Diego in Toledo by the Consortium of the City of Toledo. Mr. Jesus Corroto Briceño will be taking the diploma.
Felicidades.
Congratulations. And we have one third finalist for this category. The main square of Olot by a pair of architects, together with Kim Dumen and Pep da Solà Morales. Eduard Callis will collect the diploma. Congratulations to those three finalists, and now let's go for the winning project. Fidel Durot by Jaume Bach, Anna Bach, Eugeni Bach, Xavi Bayona and Albert Clume. The prize will be collected by Jaume Bach, Anna Bach, Eugeni Bach and Xavi Bayona.
I diu el jurat.
And the jury says this project is capable of returning deteriorated urban areas with sentimental value, gaining more protagonism in the center of the city by generating tangible and elegant topographic symbols, a regeneration of spaces that are intertwined, diverse spaces for recreation, environmental quality, and healthy as well. Congratulations.
Ara sí.
No, clar, això és complicat.
This is difficult. When it comes as a surprise, you know, I mean, first, let me thank the jury.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. I mean, with these colleagues and finalists, we didn't really expect this. Actually, when we were invited to come, we were saying at the firm that we would be coming here basically because of the directors of the award, right? They are incredible people. And they've been doing this for many editions with effort, with a will, with passion. They've been organizing these award-giving ceremonies, and what I would like to highlight about them is that they help change the idea of heritage we all have. 20, 25, 30 years ago, you used the word heritage, and everybody thought about some ruins somewhere, but they have helped with these awards and with their work to extend, to expand the view on what heritage is and what actions are carried out, about the fact that heritage is living, that we need to change, that we need to modify things. Now, with respect to our project, the FIDAL, it's brought us great joy. Probably the greatest of joy is that when we go back to Olot, and we are not from Olot, okay? This is a project by Jaume Bach, Anna Bach, and also Xavi Bayona and Alba Colomer. For different reasons, they were not able to be here with us today. But when we go to Olot, the thing we love is to walk around the street and people come to us and thank us for the work carried out and the effort put into things. Up to now, this has been the greatest acknowledgement we have received. It still is. But now we can add to that this award. We are excited to have been given this award, so thank you very, very much.
Doncs moltes felicitats.
Congratulations to the entire team of Fidel d'Olot. And now we are coming to the fourth category, the Built Heritage category. It is aimed at all those architectural interventions of a permanent or ephemeral nature of any scale in architectural assets of heritage interest. There's also room for all those interventions in buildings with heritage interest that, despite not having specific protection, still belong to a protected urban or natural environment and help to shape its historical character. In this edition, 159 works have been presented that intervene in buildings of all eras. There has been an increase in interventions of industrial heritage and also of architectures of the 20th century. The award will be given, or the diplomas and award will be given by Mr. Andreu Philippe. Good evening to each and every one of you, representatives of institutions, organizers, all those participating, award winners, shortlisted projects. First of all, what I would like to do is to congratulate you for this 7th edition of the awards, a 7th edition of an initiative that started way back in 2013. And following all the previous celebrations clearly show that that idea was a great success. These awards have become fully consolidated in our cultural calendar. And these awards have the virtue, the vision of providing visibility, lending value, and acknowledging from our own sector to those successful interventions in our heritage, architectural heritage. And I would say that these interventions are transformative in the sense that they give a new, useful life to buildings and singular spaces in our environment. By doing so, it makes sense to what we tend to say, which is that heritage does not speak about the past alone. The heritage is present and future as well. From the Department of Culture, we are fully committed to the rehabilitation, restoration of our heritage. And we are also convinced that we need to take a step further. We need to make it accessible. We need to make it come alive. We need to bring it closer to all citizens because, after all, the best possible strategy to preserve our heritage, other than interventions, investment made into restoration and refurbishment. What is really important, what will guarantee its preservation, is to make sure that this heritage is lived, experienced by its citizens, that people feel it belongs to them, that they feel part and parcel of it, and in a nutshell, that they love it, value it, and defend it. Having said that, thank you very much for your work with these awards, because with it, you are contributing to this goal, a goal that I am certain we all share. Thank you very much.
Doncs fem entrega dels...
So let's hand out the diplomas. There are 3 finalists. The first is Le Grand Palais from Paris, France, by Chatillon Architect. It will be collected by Simon Chatillon.
Sí, i no et moguis.
Don't move, Jordi, because you will also collect the next diploma, the diploma for the next finalist, which is the Convent of Saint François from Saint-Lucie de Taillanot, France, by architect Amelia Tavella.
I seguim amb el tercer...
And we'll continue with the third finalist, Kunst Silo Christiansen, Norway, from the firms Back Studio, Mendoza Partida, and Mestres Waage. The diploma is collected by Boris Bezan, Mara Partida, Hector Mendoza, Maria Mestres, and Magnus Waage. Congratulations.
I anem al projecte...
And now let's go to the winner. Hatsteen from Antwerp, Belgium, by No Architecten. And the prize will be collected by Gidze, joining us remotely.
I recollirà el...
And also the Belgian, it will be collected by the agent from the consulate.
Diu el jurat que...
The jury says this expansion is new and modern, with a well-executed project and a precise choice of materials, lending new life to a complex urban centre. Good balance between rigorously restoring the existing part and demolishing the most recent additions to create a contemporary edition that will allow for new uses. Congratulations.
Good evening, Barcelona, from Brussels. We're really amazed to be selected between this big group of high-standing projects dealing with heritage, and each project is special, and this project became also very special in that sense that it's the oldest building in Antwerp, with its foundations like 1,000 years old, very visible, it's staying, and it sparked a very public debate, and this debate went in all kinds of directions, and so this award is a very welcome addition to this important debate about the importance of heritage and how we deal with the past, our past, and the present, but really also important the future of heritage in our contemporary cities. So thank you very much for the honor of this award, and of course I don't only speak for myself, but really on behalf of the whole team of architects that worked for more than 6 years with dedication on this project to make it become reality. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jitse, for being with us today, and we hope to see you in Barcelona soon. Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bé, doncs ara procedim a l'entrega de...
Well, let's proceed now to the awards of special mentions. Let's start with the new European Bauhaus. Out of all the interventions, planned studies and works of all the participants of this edition, the jury awards this mention to highlight the values of sustainability, aesthetics and inclusion defended by the new European Bauhaus. This special mention will be given by Mrs. Laura Raola.
Bona tarda.
Good evening.
Degà.
Mrs. Mayor, Dean, congratulations.
Bueno, vull ser molt breu.
I'd like to be brief. Let's hope I can manage this. And like to share with you in 2 minutes what's the new Bauhaus by the European Union. Let's try to share these 3 items in 2 minutes. First of all, it's a bridge between science, technology, art and culture. And it is also a bridge between the past, the present and the future. This also aligns with what we're seeing today. This links the past, the present, and the projection to the future. Secondly, it's a hopeful, a message full of hope. I don't know if you remember this, but the first time we talked about the European New Bauhaus, it was in a speech by Ursula von der Leyen in September 2020 in Europe. We had almost 5 million people that suffered COVID, and we had more than 200,000 deaths, with a devastated economy and people being left without a job. We had a world that thought that beauty could be a luxury, but this was defending that we had the right to live in beautiful surroundings. So it was a message of a future, because it was suggesting that with all our powers we aimed at this power to fight for our future, hope for the future, making the spaces where we live prettier. Now this pandemic seems like an old memory, and right now we're not in a fantastic moment, but nevertheless, a new Bauhaus, new European Bauhaus, is a torch that invites us to look for this beauty. And thirdly, is an open letter, is a movement that invites professionals, just like all of you here, from different disciplines, to tackle complex problems, to share experiences, to talk about good practices. And it was an initiative that was being built from the bottom to the top. We didn't have European funding. We didn't have a roadmap from Brussels. We didn't have many funding, but it was a seed that has been growing thanks to the implication of professionals like you, and therefore we're very happy that you've invited us here today, because this showcases your generosity, and it is with Ramon Canolanja, Oriol Cosido, you've watered this seed and you've championed this new Bauhaus spirit. So beauty is not a luxury, but a collective achievement that we can all enjoy. Thank you. So the jury wants to give this award to Share and Reuse Factory in Kortrijk, Belgium, by the firm Atama. The diploma will be collected by Bram Eierts and Caroline Pasmans. The jury states that the new configuration of the building complex highlights the activities and agents it hosts, favoring the shared use of space, community interaction, and the social re-signification of architectural heritage. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much for this great honor. We actually also want to thank our clients because they prioritize sharing over owning, which is a magnificent idea to hand over to an architect. And what we try to do is to find an architectural equivalent for the idea of sharing. And next to that, I would like to thank also all of the people in our office. They're not here today, but it's thanks to them and their effort day after day that we can be here. Thank you.
Bé, doncs moltes felicitats.
Congratulations, and let's finish with the special mention of restoration. Out of all the interventions, planned studies and works of all the participants of this edition, the jury awards this mention to the intervention that from a technical and methodological point of view has stood out for its quality, precision and respect. This special mention of restoration will be granted by Mr. Guim Costa.
Doncs bé.
Well, the winning work of the special mention of restoration is Chiaravale Nolar Tower in Milan of the Italian firm Giurina and Radelli Studio Associato, and Lorenzo Giurina will be collecting the award. The jury weighted up that the project not only guarantees the conservation and restitution of historical and material values, but also provides a particular focus on structural intervention where the maintenance of its original logic has been the main value to be safeguarded. Congratulations.
Gracias por su paciencia.
Thank you for your patience, for being here. And I'm an engineer, an Italian engineer, and for 45 years I like to work with architects, especially in heritage. Is a magnificent adventure with my colleagues. So I like to thank the organizers, my co-workers, my partner, and especially the Ministry of Culture in Italy that dared letting me do things like that. Thank you. See you.
Bé, doncs, moltes felicitats.
Congratulations to all the award winners. Let's finish here this award ceremony. All the awards in this edition will be published in the Architectural Heritage Intervention Archive, a digital archive on the website that already contains 1,500 works and which reflects the important work of heritage protection that has been carried out in Europe in the last 20 years. And now, before closing the event, let's welcome Marc Manzano on stage, co-director of the AHI platform.
Bé, vull convidar.
I'd like to invite the three other directors on stage. I think I'm not the only one that should be here. It should be all of us. Please come here with me.
També vull convidar.
I'd also like to invite Marta Poc and Cathy from the communication team to come here with us on stage.
I vull convidar la Sara.
And also Sara Sember, our coordinator, that works so much and she's always hidden.
De part de tots.
On our behalf, the whole team, and thank you, Carolina Rosich, for her effort and the great presentation of this ceremony. Thank you very much.
Agrair també a la Diputació.
Also like to thank the Barcelona City Provincial Council that you're up here. Thank you very much. The authorities that year after year you give us your support and help us with all this event. And now I'd like to invite all these selected projects to come up on stage. Please come, all of you.
Tots els seleccionats que esteu...
All the shortlisted projects, please come up on stage. We'll take a picture.
Mentre van pujant...
While you are coming up, once we've taken the group photo, yeah, also winners and finalists. You should all come up on stage while you're coming up here to take the picture. We'll go to Gustavino's space where we'll all have a toast. So please, you are all invited to the toast.
A baix. Podem anar tots...
Let's all go downstairs where you were given your badge, and then you'll find the Gustavino space where we'll have a toast.